Take a moment to think about this before you enter this physical realm. You chose the experiences, the challenges, even the level of difficulty. Why? Because your soul knew what it needed for its growth, for its evolution, for the expansion of your consciousness. Think about that. Nothing in your life is a coincidence. The family that you're born into, the people and the friends that you've met along the way, even moments of hardship, they were all chosen to teach you something unique. Even the highs and the lows were placed with a purpose. Those lessons woven into your journey weren't random. They were selected by the essence of who you are. And you can even look at angel numbers and those intuitive nudges coming through the veil from the other side in the same way, like those little post-it notes that you might have around the house reminding you of what you need to do, or like those calendar alerts that pop up on your phone reminding you of certain appointments or certain things that you need to do. And these synchronicities are like those intuitive nudges divinely guided and delivered to you, helping you and encouraging you on your path and guiding you towards your purpose and for your highest good, because there is so much to life than what you can see happening in front of you. All these things create and influence the world that you live in, and knowing this will enable you to shift your vibrational frequency and access different levels of consciousness. And the universe knows, as well as your higher self, that you came here to have these experiences, because only on this planet can we obtain these experiences and for consciousness to experience itself. It's the only way that consciousness can expand and grow through those low vibrational, denser earthly energies. Anything of a low vibrational energy. But that's not to say that that has to be your story, your now or your future. The time has come for you to wake up and to remember who you are and why you are here. So if for a minute you can believe that it was the power of your soul's intention that created your current life, part of your soul's contract, then you also have it within you to believe and hold a manifestation that you can create a new life. So when life feels overwhelming and you start to wonder, why me? What's my purpose? Why do these bad things keep happening to me? And you're constantly stuck in those low vibrational energies of fear and survival. That is because along the way you have got stuck in a loop, in that contrast. But if you were to zoom out, you will realize and you will see from a higher perspective that that loop is actually a spiral. And through these lessons, it's now time for you to raise your vibration and to start leveling up, to ascend upwards, and through those lessons to let go, to transmute anything that does not serve your highest good and to shed those layers of the old consciousness. And know this, that you are never a victim of your circumstance. Instead, you are a creator, a powerful soul that set the stage for its own journey. You didn't come here to get lost in the contrast or to simply float along with the tide. You came here to rise through every experience and to become the master of your reality. So when you can, I want you to quieten your mind and I want you to ask yourself these two questions. What do I want right now? What does my soul need right now? Because even if the desires, that's okay. Your desires are not random. They are glimpses of a life that you're already living on another timeline. And in that other timeline, you already have what you're craving for in the here and now. And that echoes in the now moment. So visualize what it feels like and what it looks like to have all that in the here and now, right here in the now moment. Bring that vision forward, assuming that you're already living that current life in the here and now, and tap into the vibrational feeling of it. And step outside of the box of illusion, the fear, those limiting beliefs, the attachment, and start thinking, feeling and doing as this new version of yourself that you're trying to create and manifest, and to not let the contrast pull you down. And then you will start to see things shift and align for you, and your higher self guiding and paving the way for you for new things to enter your life, because you will have shifted your vibrational frequency. Things would have changed, and that's how your external then begins to change as well. Because most people wait for the external reality, the outside world, to shift and change in order for them to feel a certain way. But everything starts within. And when you do that, you open up your channel to receive. Not that your channel to receive is ever closed. It's just vibrating on a different broadcast frequency. It just needs fine tuning. And the universe wants you to know that now is a time to go within and to focus on the self and to listen and pay attention to what you're being guided towards. And less focus on the external noise, because times are changing. And acceptance is one of the biggest steps towards creating the life that you want, which will then enable you to then step outside of your known reality. Accepting that all of this that you've gone through was necessary for your soul's growth. You notice how we transition from 3D via 4D and then finally into the fifth dimensional level of consciousness. And you do this through the power of focused attention and through the journey of learning lessons. The human self doesn't realize that it was there for your choosing, but your entire multidimensional self knew that being born into this situation was going to lead to a particular experience and therefore to learn a particular lesson. Again, because this is what's going to help you to ascend. So by accepting that your soul chose this planet and wanted to incarnate here, helps many with the feeling of being satisfied and allows them to then process what they are going through, what they have been through, to perhaps seek healing and to then move forward with a new sense of purpose and conscious awareness. And I want to remind you that your thoughts are the electric signal and your feelings are magnetic. So how you think and feel will broadcast an electromagnetic signal out into the quantum field, drawing into our reality anything that matches that vibration. And if you're wanting to create change and you want to create and manifest a new version of yourself, then start thinking and feeling and doing differently. Change your thoughts and feelings and you change and shift your reality. Your higher self wants you to see, feel and know that the moment you begin to look past all of this pain, all of these limitations, and you begin to question your beliefs and your patterns that no longer serve you, you will realize that you're no longer identified by all of this, all of your struggles, all of these constraints that are holding you back. And you'll start to awaken your soul from within, and things will align and shift around you. And when you truly accept who you are, where you are, and how great life feels to be living your life right here, right now, you will start to attract more of the same. And then when something happens along the journey, what you can do with it is you can be like, okay, this has happened. What do I do with it now? And in that moment, you can be like, right, I can transmute it. I can let it go. I can feel to heal it. If necessary, I can forgive when I'm ready with compassion, whether that's for others or for yourself, when you are ready, and it's got to feel true to you. In those moments when something then comes up and you accept that this is part of your journey, be still, be present, accept what is, feel what is, and let it all unravel naturally. Because all of these experiences are teaching you a lesson, even the karmic lessons. They are necessary for your ascension process. To give you an example, one of my friends recently found herself in a very sticky situation. On the one hand, she's trying to create and manifest this business that she wants to pursue. And at the same time, she found herself looking at her bank account thinking, oh my God, I'm going to run out of money. I'm not going to have enough money to pay for food or for bills. So she thought to herself, I can either go back into the working world, back into the matrix, which actually really filled her with dread, and it just didn't sit right with her, or just to carry on doing what she's doing and just see what happens at the end of the month. So she did her usual visualizing techniques and so on. And what came along was this text message from another friend that popped up on her phone. And it said that the government is offering people who are earning less than a certain amount benefits to help them pay for their food and their bills. And she thought, okay, well, I'm trying to create and manifest my vision, but this has come along. It's not ideal. What do I do? So then I told her, look, that's something that's come to you. Take a chance and just see what happens. If you don't get approved for it, fine. At least you've given it a try. So she filled out the application and she was called for an interview. As she walked in and she checked in, she felt this utter anxiety come over her body. She felt utterly embarrassed, shame, fear, guilt, unworthiness, a failure. She felt all these emotions bubbling up and coming up to the surface. And as she was then ushered to sit into the waiting room, she felt like hiding. She felt like running away because this waiting room was in the middle of the whole centre. There was desks all the way around with people ready to interview people like her. And she sat in the middle. She felt all these eyes on her, looking and judging her. And she felt her self-judgment kicking as well. And then this person came and sat in front of her, also in a similar position to her. And she looked at her thinking, okay, she's a couple of years younger than me. She can easily go get a job as well, but she's here for a reason as well. And if she can do it, then so can I. In that moment, she caught herself. She caught that negative momentum before it pulled her down. And as she then started thinking, right, okay, I've got this moment. I'm in here, in this present moment now. What can I do right now? In that moment, she started to raise her conscious awareness. She started to reshift her thinking. And she identified through her inner dialogue, she came to the realization that these thoughts, these emotions were coming from societal conditioning, from culture, from expectations. And really, she can change the narrative of this. She can redefine them and start thinking like this is a universe giving you a helping hand, lending you a lifeline while you can still carry on and pursuing what you need to do, because that is your soul's desire. It's leading to your highest good. And here, the universe is also helping you, but through a different means. It might not be what you expect it to be, but it's still something. And what I want you to take away from this is that everything that you do, everything is formulated to who you believe you are. And what you give consent to, what those feelings and those thoughts that you give consent to, that is what it comes down to. And she did get approved, and she now feels a little bit lighter, that she can now carry on doing what she feels called to do, to be of service to the world and the community in any way that she can. And it may not have been, what or how she preferred this money to come through. She might have preferred it to come through her business, but perhaps her business isn't ready for that yet. But being open to receiving any form of guidance is a key thing, and she remained open to seeing anything that was going to come through and to help her. She wasn't attached to any particular outcome, that it has to be this way. Attachment and all you're worrying about how and when it's going to happen because it has to be a certain way. She let go of that control and accepted the flow of life and going on the path of surrender and trusting the process. Everything that you do or don't do creates an image of yourself that you then project outwards. It's what the world sees. So in order to create change, the minute you begin to change your beliefs, your thinking, you're less critical of yourself, and you catch that inner dialogue before it gets a hold of those negative vibrations, you start to see those subtle changes in your vibration. It's almost like they create little sparks in your energy field. Because remember, everything starts from within. How you think, feel, do, and act, it's all from within, which is then projected outwards. And I want to add that everybody has negative thoughts, even positive people. Nobody is really there, vibrationally flying high all the time. It's about being in the flow state, ups and downs. But in those moments, it's about guiding those negative thoughts, through intention and mindfulness, not control, manipulation, or spiritually bypassing what's going on from wound to healing, or sugarcoating things, or quickly automatically thinking a positive thought, because that's the same as just covering your wound up with a plaster. But allowing yourself to sift and sort through without judgment, without being self-critical, allowing yourself to feel and heal, and then creating space between stimulus and respond, which then allows you to then create the freedom to choose your options, to choose wisely, to choose things that align with your highest good, with your goals and your values. So if this is you, you can either choose option A, be a victim and be like, life is against me, and addicted to that same brain chemical reaction that reconfirms those beliefs, or choose option B and be like, okay, this is my situation. It doesn't define who I am. It doesn't mean that this is what I'm destined to do. I'm having a temporary human experience. And this is just a stepping stone to get to where I need to be. And then you can ask yourself, well, what do these experiences allow me to do? What does the lessons or the karma that has come with this experience allow me to learn? This is you then calling all that energy back, all that fractured energy back out of those negative things that are keeping you stuck, into who you are, into the present moment of you right here, right now, that you can then use to create something new from. And it doesn't have to be something grand. It could be even something small, as you shifting your perspective, shifting your vibration. Perhaps it's something that you've been putting off that you now want to go and do. Whether it's redirecting your attention and focus to, creating a way of creating financial stability, better health, working or improving on your relationships, a project that you have been putting off, or a problem being solved for you. When you call your energy back, you can redirect and refocus it into something else. It's about finding your voice, finding your inner strength, and reclaiming everything that you have been through with the understanding of the process of your spiritual awakening journey and your human self at the same time. And knowing that the universe has got you. You know, the universe doesn't want you to change because you've done something bad or anything like that. Instead, it wants you to expand in everything that you are. The more you lean into the truth that it was you all along, every laugh, every tear, every obstacle, and that it's all part of the masterpiece your soul is creating in this lifetime, the more empowered you become. You are not lost. You are right where you intended to be. So trust the process. And if you are here listening, then this is meant for you, because the key thing to remember is to take ownership of everything that's happened to you, of everything that you have done and everything that you have been through. This is you reclaiming your sovereignty and moving forward with a whole new understanding. You know, no longer feeling like a victim, but rather an empowered version of you, your empowered self. You're bringing your true nature to the front. And then having this higher perspective, a higher level of consciousness, understanding about everything interconnected, know that about the unity of one consciousness, and then using that perspective to move forward. It's like somebody giving you the tools to find your way out of a cave, or tools in the form of love, not as an emotion, but as frequency and energy, or tools in the form of attention and unity, knowing that you can change anything with the power of your thoughts. You can be a deliberate creator, because remember, everything is energy and frequency. And when you align yourself to match a particular frequency, there are no limits to what you can manifest. So as you move forward and you become aware of your true nature as this boundless spirit that is capable of rising above any hardship, you become conscious of the higher purposes of your experiences. And this newfound awareness propels you towards inner healing, self-discovery and deeper wisdom. And the universe is calling for you to forget about the mistakes and to not to be hard on yourself when you make mistakes. You know, when you have those moments when you forget what you should be doing, or so that's what we tell ourselves. But instead, use those opportunities as stepping stones, as lessons, a way for you to grow and expand, knowing that you are an infinite being. So step forward and love yourself more. Show yourself some love, because you are so much more than what you project out, than what you believe. You know, there's limitations, those 3D ways of thinking, being and doing. And yes, the path is not always easy and the road often feels lonely, but it's one that will lead to a deeper understanding of who you are and the immense power that you hold within. And know that these are the building blocks to your life, to your purpose, to awaken within who you are, an extension of source energy. So just keep doing what you're doing. Keep learning to let go. Keep surrendering and trusting the flow and trusting the process of life. And believe in your undeniable strength. And let me know in the comments what you've overcome, what you are going through, or perhaps if there's something that you need advice on, or even if you just want to say hello. And please feel free to share this video with anybody else who needs to hear this message. And I will see you soon. Take care. Much love. Namaste.